Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the second day of London Film and Comic Con. And Marti Matulis, everybody. Everybody. All good, yeah? So, Marti, the character of Vane that appeared in Mandalorian.
Yes, indeed.
I take it we're a Star Wars fan going into this, because it's something you feel wow,
huge Star Wars fan. Yeah. I was 7 years old when we just flew over my head, cracked me wide open. Yeah, absolutely ready for that. Maintained my kind of fandom throughout the years, and then when the opportunity came up for this thing, I was the happiest 5-year-old, 50-year-old I know. It was great.
Same as all of us, yeah. So, how did it come about?
It just came up as a standard audition. A lot of the things that I've done have been stuffed into makeups and creature suits. Most of those may come through the recommendation of the makeup artists themselves. This particular one just came through my agent as a standard audition. I think they were looking for someone primarily who could handle the makeup, but also had some acting training. So that was my sweet spot for 20 plus years. It just happened to happen at the right time.
So I think you were in 2 episodes of Mandalorian, is that correct?
2 of Mandalorian, yes.
Yeah. And so the 2 episodes, obviously, we're all familiar with that. And I'm pretty sure it's been revealed that you are going to appear in Skeleton Crew.
Yes, confirmed at Celebration. Yeah.
So you're going to be the chief antagonist in that, I believe?
One could wish. I think I'm one of several. Hard to say specifically because I would probably get assassinated by a mouse-shaped figure somewhere in the audience. But yeah, he definitely has a larger part than he did in Mandalorian. I think it's a big 8-episode series. I can't recall. And he's in the majority.
And did you know when you were filming the Mandalorian character was going to be able to do things?
Oh, I had no idea. The Mandalorian part was for 1 day, and I was to be killed, and some other fellow was to be sent away. But as the character was being built, I found out that the special effects makeup artists themselves wanted to do this particular race as a makeup and not as a rubber pull or a mask. Didn't know that at the time. When I was cast, I of course wanted to be done as a makeup and not as a rubber mask. So I contacted them, let them know that I could provide them a plaster cast of my head that happened to be all over town at this point after 20 years of doing this. And they said, oh no, we've already got a copy of your head, and we're well hard at work sculpting. So it all came together to be much more detailed makeup, beautiful costume, and then during the costume and makeup test, I started to get a sense that they were not going to dispense with him too quickly. And then on the morning of, I was you're not dead.
Brilliant. So the species is Nikto?
Yeah, brown Nikto.
Yeah, and Nikto originally appeared in Return of the Jedi, Jabba's palace on the skiff.
Yeah.
And that was a mask, I believe.
Yes, yeah, at the time, rubber mask.
Yeah. So obviously with the makeup, you want more flexibility and you put more sort of character into the character.
As much as possible.
And how long did the application makeup take?
As they go, it was very much on the shorter side of things. I think we brought him to about an hour and a half to get in. He was just a cowl piece in the face and the chin and a bit of a touch-up on the paint job. And the rest was a beautiful bit of wardrobe by Showmasters.
And the actual scenes that you were in, obviously it was like a ghost scene, the Mandalorian, and it was some spaceship work as well. Did you work primarily on location or were you in the volume?
There was no volume for the 2 Mandalorian episodes. I think the Navarro set was our 2 days for the shootout, and then we were just on a stage with a blue or green screen for the cockpit for fighting. And then the next thing, the Skeleton Crew, was all volume, which, as a nerd myself, being in the volume was in a candy store. It was absolutely amazing. The technology is phenomenal to see.
Yeah, it's quite amazing the volume. I mean, basically, post-productions, pre-production now. So
it's incredible. Yeah, you get a sense that it's clean and looks good while you're shooting, but there's all the parallax effect, and you're seeing all the crude pieces You walk around and watch the replay on the monitor, and it looks done. And all they have to do is add. You don't have to clean up. There's nothing really to fix. They just add whatever elements, and off we go. Hard to believe it took 2 years to be finished with it.
So you've obviously got an extensive career where you won a lot of aesthetic kind of makeup in the horror genre. Is that correct?
It does happen that way.
Yeah.
The makeup artists love doing that stuff.
Is that something that you want to get into, or did you just fall into that by accident, happy accident?
No intention of doing so whatsoever. I used to do bizarre makeups for myself on Halloween. That's about as far as that went. But I was in the theater as a child, studied film all the time, trained as an actor. You move to Hollywood and you take whatever job comes your way, which initially was on Star Trek, on Insurrection as a Baku, and then on Nemesis as one of the Regan warriors. And from that, you sit in the makeup artist chairs day after day, you get to know them, they get to know your temperament. If you sit quietly, if you don't destroy their makeup, if you have a certain body type that's useful to them, you find you get a call to come back to things. So that was kind of the beginning of my professional friendships in Hollywood. And then he's become the niche that I fell into, which has been a joy, actually.
So did you come to it quite a bit later in life? Did you have a previous career?
I was on track initially as a music performance major. Go trombone players. Yeah. Not a lot of career choice in that regard. So then I veered over toward, so I was elementary education major for a while, did some work with special education. But always there was the theater joy. So I think it was in my 20s at some point when I started kind of making my way up to Hollywood to see if I could start working that way.
Fantastic. We'll just talk about we'll focus on the Mandalorian now. So, in the series,
divulge all the secrets.
yeah, well, we'll have the whole script, isn't it? In terms of the Mandalorian, were there any of the scenes that you were in particularly fond of? They're thrilled to be working with.
Shout out to Carl Williams. That man was absolutely a joy to work with. The first day I was there, the first morning I showed up, Carl brought himself to me, introduced himself, wanted to go over lines, just run lines all day, I'm familiar with it. And he was the most generous guy I've ever worked with. Regardless of his time in the industry, it was very apparent he was a very pure-hearted actor, technically proficient artist who wanted to raise everybody up for the sake of whatever we were working on at the time. So that made me feel extremely welcome. And it was a great way to kick off that experience.
Yeah, I've heard other people say that when I've spoken to him, that he just sort of like makes everybody feel really well. Real sad loss, and it was a very sad loss. Yeah.
But on the opposite spectrum of that, there was an absolute pain in the ass to work. It was really difficult with that little guy. He's got really strange ears, he's kind of a green tinge. What a pretty domino. Wants his own trailer, he wants only M&Ms in the shade of himself. It was rough. No, he was delightful. I absolutely nerded out over everything about the baby at the time. He was lovely. Yeah.
And when you were working, you didn't see the growing up, I'm trying to remember now.
He was there, he was kind of witnessing the two things, but Vane never actually clocked him because I don't think he would care. Where's he going to hold his money? Wasn't much concern to him.
Did you get to meet him in person, so to speak, afterwards, the animal type?
Well, it's funny, they shot my side first, and Carl would come out to do lines, so it was just camera crew again. Then after lunch, when they turn everything around to shoot Carl's side, they bring out everything on his side, which is, I think Babe was Barry in the suit that time, and then they roll out the prank. And when they did that, I was slapping my makeup artist and pointing. He's like, "You're in the scene with it. Why don't you just go and say hi?" I'm like, "I can." You've seen what Vane looks like. I'm already 6'4", with shoes he's 6'6", and I look like this intimidating pirate guy. And I walk over there, giving him the technical inspection, and I see him start to move. The animators will take any opportunity to practice the work, so they brought him up, and they were working him. He he comes to life. It takes more time and he's a real creature again. So then I got down and like, cute face people talking to him, just talking to him, and then remembered where I was and looked around and everyone was just staring at us. It was funny seeing. I haven't seen his pictures yet.
We need to see some photos.
Yeah, right.
So, if you could have been any other character in the Star Wars galaxy, past, present, any particular character that you've sort of gravitated towards over the years?
Empire Boba Fett, 100%. Because of my age, because of when they all came out, because of the quality of Empire Strikes Back, and the very limited amount of information we had about him at the time, that character was the most fascinating thing ever. I wanted to be that kind of bizarre, gun-slinging mystery man.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have chosen Fett. Maybe a bit too tall.
True. Although there's a Play Arts variant character of Boba Fett that if I were to ever cosplay, I think a very tall, scary-looking Fett would be great.
So, as a kid, you're into Star Wars, you've seen all the films. Did you collect merchandise as a child?
Not a lot of it. I had the flat case, the double layer flat case that I filled up, but my friends had the Darth Vader extended case and then tubs of extra toys. So there was no shortage of action figures to go play with. I did get the Millennium Falcon one year at Christmas. That was kind of the pinnacle of my toy era. But yeah, and that's all we did. You know, at that age, who's young in the audience here? Who's young? Back in the olden days, we would just go play Star Wars. Once Star Wars happened, that's all there was. And it was Star Wars. So on the weekends, you'd either go ride your bikes or go to the pool, but then you just go play Star Wars.
Every 3 years between each new film.
And the only thing that holds you there was, what was the zine? Fantha Tracks. I had my Fantha Tracks to keep me somewhat in the loop with developments.
So you signed up to that then, you? So I don't think there's an action figure as yet, but no doubt in the works potentially.
Hoping. I was scanned.
Well, there you go. That could happen. So that would be good. Good to see in the future. I mean, should that happen, how amazing will that be for you as a child fan, all the way up to 99, and you have an action figure yourself? How cool?
That's great. It's great. Yeah, it's odd being at this age because, of course, half of it is absolute fan joy over that. There's a little piece of that, like, oh yeah, that's what I did. And then just the kind of appreciation that this is now part of this larger world.
So, beyond this, obviously beyond the Skeleton Crew, you probably can't talk about anything else coming up, but have you got other stuff lined up? You want to talk about it?
Oh, little to none. The industry's in a very strange flux right now. I mean, coming out of the strikes, this preponderance of AI and everyone leaping to see what it can do or what its limitations are. Things still seem to be gearing up again. Things are not running at full speed yet.
Still.
Yeah, so there's always opportunities, there's always things happening that, as I said, the network of makeup artist friends that I've made are a reliable source of, hey, can you do this thing? But yes, the hope is to also do more work out of makeup. So that's been the biggest push this year, is to get the ducks lined up and prepare to hit the ground running once Skeleton Crew comes out.
Are you tempted in any way to get involved with helping other people get involved? So maybe a makeup artist yourself? I mean, obviously the sequel process, you know what's involved.
Only as a lark. I've joked with my makeup artist friends that I could do a very probably stand-up job via 20 years of osmosis watching them work. But we haven't taken advantage of that yet. No, we talked about doing some certain things on YouTube, considered certain types of teaching opportunities around how to manage yourself in difficult situations as an actor, even kind of specifically related to makeup or aesthetics. But got a few things rolling out, something like that.
So dragging it right back to Vane where we started.
Excellent. Love it. Really love it. Look at this dying Skeleton Crew. I don't know.
Who knows?
No.
But how do you find that sort of makeup? Do you find it claustrophobic in any way? Or is it something you have to work in?
I personally don't. I think that's why I've been able to do it for 20 years, and why the makeup artists love that. Because if they love to be able to seal off some aspect that's usually required, like breathing or speaking or seeing or hearing. I like to take some senses away to dehumanize the character a little bit. For the most part, I don't mind. It's more of a meditative experience. Like if you're in a mask that you can't see out of, that's just your experience for the day, and you accept it. I don't get fidgety in the chair. I think only one time ever did I see a mask coming towards me, and I had that, maybe what most people might have, is like the dawning realization, you're now trapped for 16 hours, and goodbye. But no, for the most part, it's not that bad. I think the older I get, the less interested I am in that level of experience for that long of a period of time. Doug Jones told me one time over coffee, he's like, Marty, what I really want right now is to work on a Hallmark Channel Christmas special, sitting on a couch, wearing slippers, drinking tea all day long. And I'm struggling to understand what you mean.
Imagine doing that in the Vane episode.
A mashup I hadn't expected.
That would be cool.
Half hours Vane.
Well, it's been brilliant chatting with you, and thanks for letting us know all about Vane. And look forward very much to see your character and your performance in Skeleton Crew. So, everybody, watch the video.
Thank you.